So I'm with Scott Newell, the CEO of Newell Recycling Equipment, the biggest shredding company in the world. Scott, welcome back.
Well, thank you very much.
We spoke last year. Since then, you have traveled around the world several times. Perhaps you would like to give us an update of what you can see changing in the last 12 months or so.
It's been quite interesting. I have traveled a lot in this last year, visited a lot of different recycling exhibits around the world, and of course the world is moving toward more recycling. It has a lot of, they say sex appeal, but it's interesting. And I was kind of thinking about what we talked about last year here, and at the time I told you that a lot more material is going to be shredded in Europe, and that's still the truth. There's economic reasons for that. The shredded material is getting recognized as having better value in use in steelmaking. It has lower carbon emissions and it has better yield. And so, yeah, the world is moving in that direction. Okay. Now, is it moving fast enough?
Yeah.
No. So sometimes I laughingly say, well, why shred? Well, we shred to add value. And so if we can add more value with present shredders and then build onto replacement machines, we can get to this higher tonnage produced. And so a big part of my focus in this last year has been to explain to people about ways to improve the shredding. We shred to add value, so if you can add more value by making a higher value product, at more tons per hour with less kilowatt hours of electricity and recover more non-ferrous metal, then of course you're better
win-win.
off.
Mm-hmm. 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 And are there parts of the world that are moving faster than others in your experience?
Well, China has moved the fastest over the last 10 years. I mean, China has 240 million tons of shreddable material. We're presently shredding about 100 million tons. I'm very proud of the fact that Newell machines have more than 50% of all the installed shredding capacity in China. So, I mean, I'm very proud of that fact. But we're also seeing that a lot of new equipment is being put into developing countries around the world. Instead of baling material, sending it to someone else to shred, I mean, they're doing it more at home. Although the shredding business has a lot of very big companies involved with it, and for example, in China, a lot of the steel mills control the shredding. There's still room for niche players. If they're far enough away from the rest of the steel mill that the freight makes a big difference, then they can shred and prepare it there.
Okay. And of course, there's been a lot of action in the US recently. Perhaps you can tell us a little bit about the US market for Newell. Is anything changing at the moment?
It's pretty much the same in America as it is in Europe. You have a lot of big companies that control about half of the total shredding capacity. But everyone is interested in doing the job more efficiently. And I'm proud of the fact that that we work on that a lot. I mean, for example, we have designed a new set of grates, and we call it their slotted grates, and they have more holes but more opening. And so people put them in, and one time recently I checked, we had 20 container loads of those kind of grates coming at one time. And so it's a very big improvement. Almost everybody who put them in, the next day after they start running the first time, they order the second set because it's just obviously going to be better.
Right. And is that sort of technology exportable to different markets, or are they all different?
That's good for everybody. Okay. It's one of the things we're doing in Europe is retrofitting that into existing machines, because that means that you don't make a big investment. You're buying bottom grates anyway. So you buy these bottom grates, and all of a sudden you're producing more material. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm very proud of that one. That's a good one.
Okay. And obviously you've been in the business quite a long time now, your family business. Perhaps you could give us one or two of the key takeaways, things that are most important, finally, when you're doing this sort of business. What have you learned over the years?
I continue to think that we have to be more efficient with our machines. And that means recovering more value out of the non-ferrous metal that's there. we're using computers a lot. I mean, in China, in my company there, I have 20 engineers. 10 of them are computer engineers. That shows you that I think that we're going to be needing more automation and more IT. And so in our machines, we call Smart Shredder System computer program. And that machine spends about half its time running the plant, but it also spends about half the time creating management data, because we say what gets measured gets improved. And so we're trying to give management reports to people so they can make their plant run better.
Right. So humans are still very important, and the human contact, the reason that you come to the annual International Automotive Recycling Conference, that still remains valid?
Yes, of course. And we meet so many interesting people, and then we're able to also plant some seeds of thoughts about what you might want to do. And it's very good for us. We like it.
Well, that's great. Lots of good contacts to Newell over the next day. Thank you very much, Scott. It's always great to talk to you.
Jill, thank you and your team. I think you guys are great.
Thank you.